Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up? Righteous Reptiles. All the way in Africa, right? It's got to be sweet. How's the audio? Everything sounding okay? Really? It doesn't look very good on my end. It's a little laggy. Is what it is. Well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. So, don't really have any video ideas at all. I'm just doing this because at 50,000 subscribers, I wanted to do a live feed. And yeah, figured I better have a pretty good idea of what's going on before I do that. Sweet, good deal. I got a new computer, so hopefully that's working out pretty decent. Seems like it is. It's a lot quicker than the old one. It was hard uploading almost daily on a really old, like 7-year-old laptop. But yeah. Is anybody on? I got quite a few people watching already. 18. That's not bad. More than I expected. Anybody find me through TikTok? I started doing TikTok videos. I've been doing it quite a bit. Don't know if anybody's actually watching them from YouTube. I just put up stupid videos on there. I don't really go too in depth, I don't think, or at least I don't feel like I do. All the way from Israel. What time is it over in Israel? It's getting really late here. I think I gotta be at work in like 3 hours, 4 hours. I gotta go to bed here soon. Ireland. Awesome. 8:20 a.m. Neat. Dragonfly. I don't have a TikTok, but I will find you. Sony, first live YouTube video you've checked out. That's awesome. Cool. I don't know how this works, so we're both new here. Dragonfly from Australia. That's awesome. Arkansas. I know. Donna, that's cool. Have a nice one, Sniper. Thank you, by the way. So yeah, I don't know what you guys want to talk about. If you have any questions or anything, I will try to answer them. I'm not going like messing with reptiles or anything. It's past midnight. It's getting late. I'm just finishing up down here, messing around. How's it going, Austin? Yes, this is a live video. Harrowman? I'm not sure how you say that. I'm going to butcher it. Not even going to try, even though I did try. Biggest snake I have, the king cobra is really big. He's like probably 14 foot, I would say. But I do have a big retic that's definitely girthier. But he's probably only like 13 or 14 feet too. So that's from Brandon. Tarantula. Tarantulas are cool. I don't have too many right now. I got a pink toe, a big, a Viculera. They're neat. Ireland has venomous snakes banned. That's a bummer. Gaboon vipers. I like gaboon vipers. They're neat. Kind of, excuse me, kind of hard to keep on the end of a hook, though. Those guys get huge. Just like the weight alone trying to keep them up. Real workout. Biggest snake I've ever encountered. I used to work with a retic that was over 20 foot. It was a tiger. Might have been a super tiger. I think it is just a regular tiger. Alice is what we called her. She was a big girl. She's real sweet, though. I do not have any croc monitors. That should change in about a week. I'm setting up the cage now, trying to get that all buttoned down. Just working on the doors, really, is the pain. But once I get that done, I will be uploading a video of a croc monitor. I do go to a few reptile shows, Donna. Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's a little bit of a trip, but I do Hamburg occasionally. I did the Missouri show a couple times, but Yeah, I'm around sometimes. It just depends. I don't normally announce it. I just kind of go, or at least I have been here in recent years. Sony, hopefully I'm saying your name right. How would somebody go about going to college with no college to get into working with reptiles? Honestly, you can volunteer a lot of places. If you put that on your resume, that's going to look really good. Past that, like it's hard. It is really hard to get a job working with reptiles. It's totally doable. Don't ever stop chasing your dreams, but it's a pain. It's just, I mean, if I didn't buy reptiles, I wouldn't be working with reptiles right now. The zoos are not what they're all cracked up to be. Like, I love zoos. I'm all for conservation. I love their work, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you just don't fully understand. SSP animals are a great example. So these are animals that are endangered species. So they have a big list of this one's got good genetics to be with this one. This one's got good genetics to be with this one. Bad part is they're very critical on the specimens that they actually breed. So for instance, I've been told, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but there was a big Komodo dragon, and somebody was like moving it, and I think they like grabbed its tail and it like dislocated its tail or something. And the SSP said that was a birth defect and that they wasn't going to use that animal for breeding, so therefore it had no purpose in the zoo. It's like, that's kind of weird. Kind of going off on a tangent here, but what's the most venomous snake I own? Sorry, totally missed that. AP, what's the biggest ever encountered? 20 foot. Croc monitors. Do you like chameleons? Yes, dragonfly chameleons are awesome. Most venomous snake I own, probably the black mamba right now. That's about to change. Um, you can get them in Australia. You can get chameleons in Australia. How does that work? Australia is really hard to like import or export anything. They're very critical, which I understand. Uh, Gloria, drop for drop. Guessing you're talking about the most venomous snake I work with, drop for drop. Probably the black mamba. Indonesia present. I don't know how I got so confused. Yeah, most venomous snake I own. Gloria, you was asking. Black mamba. Indonesia present, drop for drop. No. I've never been bitten by a venomous snake. River's Edge Landscaping. Um, Hopefully, I can keep that record. Adam, very cool. Here for been to Oregon. I have not been to Oregon. That'd be cool. Am I going to do a facility tour? Itri. No. I mean, everybody asked for it, so I need to do that video, but it's just a logistical nightmare. In my opinion, every cage needs to be spotless in a video. I'm setting an example. We all know that's not practical. Snakes poop. That's what they do. But I want everything to look as good as humanly possible. So then if somebody that doesn't keep snakes sees a cage and it's got a little bit of poop in the water dish, because snakes poop into their water dish, I don't want them to be like, oh, they're keeping dirty snake dishes. They don't even take care of the animals they buy. They're hoarding animals. I don't want people to think that. So to keep everything spotless, very hard, possible, very hard, but to be followed around by a cameraman for 2.5 days. I filmed like 20 something odd snakes in one video, and that video was over an hour long, and it got like no views. No one gave a crap. It was just too long. So probably won't be doing that tour. I might do sections. We'll just do this back wall or whatever. Maybe we'll go over there and do some of the tanks. We might do that, but to just go, and it's always changing. I'm about to upload a big unboxing here real soon of just some stuff that I probably won't even have in 2 weeks, because I got a guy that's really interested. He's got some cool arboreal stuff, so I'll be in great hands with him. But all-time favorite snake. Gold streak cobras are very cool. Walternesia, which is the black desert cobra, are very cool. But those are two snakes I've never seen in person. So I think they're very cool just because of the mystique. I don't know anything about them. I've read the books, but I've never actually seen their actions or anything like that. So how is the Bushmaster? Brandon, Tarantula, same name as me. That's cool. Bushmasters are great. All of them are really good. I had a food shortage there for a couple of days, so I got a little bit more nervous there. But we're back up and getting food, rodents. Gotta always have backup rodent supply. I don't like feeding frozen thawed on those actually, which big debate. But I like frozen thawed, or not frozen thawed, but live. I don't typically put live in there. I take care of them beforehand. But with that being said, I don't. The body heat, it's very natural. So then they read that. It's a lot safer for me. But so I don't have a freezer full of rodents for those. I have a freezer full of rodents for everybody else, but a lot of the rodents are too big. So because the Bushmasters actually eat very small rodents because they have a very delicate neck. So something too small, they could actually break their neck or break some bone that they say can kill them, according to, I think it was Reaper that said that, Dean Reaper. At what age should I introduce my kids to non-venomous snakes? Adam asked, honestly, anytime. Now, with that being said, close parental supervision, especially if the kid's like under 4 or 5, doesn't have the understanding that they can hurt something with their hands, just watch them really close. I got my first turtle when I was 4, and I think that kind of totally shaped my curiosity. So I've always been curious about stuff like that, though. I think it's very beneficial for little kids to be around reptiles to a degree. Sure. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm very sorry, but thank you for the channel. I do appreciate that. Hey, how's it going? KRDTP. Or did I put a T in there? There's not a T in there. HB77, as far as you know, are there any spider tail vipers in captivity? Yes. I know a guy who has a couple, 4, I think, maybe two, 4. I don't know. He bred them here recently, had them in captivity for like a year and a half, and he bred them. He got clutches of eggs. So, yeah, guy's good. He's very good at what he does. But thank you very much, KRDTP, for being a huge fan. I do appreciate it. Dragonfly, I said can't. I'm guessing I screwed up your question, didn't I? Let's go back up real quick. Oh, you can't get them in Australia. I see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely Mamba. Watching in the UK. That's awesome. Nathan. Dragonfly, have fun at the gym. Be safe. Have a spotter for benching. Yeah, Sonny. As far as like Sonny, as far as working with like reptiles, like working as a zoo, very tough, very demanding. Relocating reptiles that's great. That would be really cool to be able to like relocate, problem nuisance animals. I've always thought that'd be cool because you never know what's going to be on the other end of that phone. Somebody calls you up, hey, I got a snake. That's neat. But I always thought that'd be a cool job too. Kind of hard to get into, but yeah, if you had your own business, it would work out well, I think. Love your channel so much, Austin. Thank you. What is the biggest king cobra you've worked with? You guys seen it? That unboxing, John's reptile page asset. That unboxing was just something else. I have never worked with a king that big. So when I pulled him out and he came out of the bag, I'm like, wow, bigger than I thought. And then pretty much the whole video, I'm just trying to keep him at bay. And you see me with the hook, I'm actually pushing him back a little bit. That's because like if you touch their neck, a lot of times they won't charge. They won't push against the hook. I've had king cobras charge me, and it's actually really intimidating. And that room is not big enough for that big of a snake to be charging. So I'm very standoffish. A lot of people's like, oh, he's afraid. It's a snake that can clearly kill me. Yeah, there's a little bit of fear involved for sure. But people are like, oh, they can sense the fear. Possibly. There's really no scientific proof of that. The only thing that I would say is that they have a very good sense of smell. They can smell from a very long distance. So in theory, they could smell the stress hormone. So with that being said, the calmer you are, the calmer they're going to be. If nothing else, if you're shaky with the hook, they're not going to ride the hook as well because they're uncomfortable. That being said, though, it's very in my opinion, it's better to be fearful than to be cocky. If you go in there cocky, you're going to get bit. I mean, there's a very good chance that I've seen a lot of people bit doing stupid things because they think, "Oh, I'm so good." Don't have that attitude. It's much better to be fearful. There's nothing wrong with being afraid of something that can kill you. I mean, let's be honest. Keeps you grounded. Make sure you don't do stupid stuff. Oh man, I really wish this computer would scroll a little bit better. It is all over the place. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm missing out on where I was at. So I'm probably gonna miss some questions here. Oh, there's Wicca Wildlife. Hey bud. Nick from Australia does some awesome videos. We're gonna have to do that snake striking video here real soon. Your channel's great, Kenny. Thank you so much. If you've ever been let down by a snake, overhyped it for yourself, Alora, probably Brooks. I don't know. That's questionable. I've had some snakes. I'm getting a snake here recently. They're here real soon. I don't want to talk it up because I don't want to. I think it's going to be the coolest thing I've ever put on my channel, possibly, besides maybe the king. So I don't want to let that one out of the bag yet. But everybody that's kept them say that they aren't nearly as cool as you think they are. I don't know. They seem pretty cool. So we'll see. They might let me down. What is a good age to start with venomous? Don't race death. You don't need to try to be, doing it your whole life. Just work up to it. Get as smart as you can. Read everything you can before you jump into it. Find the right person to help you out. Cool channel, man. Just curious if you collect venom for any research purposes. I don't. Have to be a sterile environment to be very tough. But I have donated some snakes to research facilities. Adam, thank you. Gloria, thank you. Thanks, love the channel. Gotcha. Thank you so much. I think we're going to start with. They don't have a good delivery system, Kenny. Yeah. I mean, rear fang snakes are a little bit. They're a little crazy, though. I mean, if you're good with rat snakes, you should be good with boiga. Let me reiterate. If you're good with the crazy rat snakes, like a king rat snake, if you can handle that with a hook, no reason why you can't handle a mangrove snake. Be careful. Don't say Venom Man told you to do that. Just saying. I mean, they're practically the same snake. But as long as they're eating good, stuck eye caps. Love to see the spider tail vipers. I would too. If I could see those in real life, it'd be sweet. I mean, maybe one day. Joseph's up, man. Nothing much. Doing this. Michael Jordan. Cool name. We love you. Thank you so much. Got a poo. I don't. This person said they do. Mangrove snakes. I like mangrove snakes. If they're acclimated, if you got like captive born baby, they're not that hard to keep. Wild caughts can be a little tough to get acclimated. I'm not inexperienced with snakes. I love native snakes here in Georgia. Cool things. Man, you're answering your own questions, Kenny. They're not bad if they're captive bred. South Africa. I'd love to get over to South Africa, Christina. That'd be amazing. I work with reptile relocation. You only have 3 native reptiles, Nick? I find that hard to believe. Gloria, have a good day at work. I will do a coral snake feeding video. I have filmed that video 9 times. That is a hard snake to feed. I will tell you that much right now. Brittany, hey. Alex, that's messed up, man. How many times have I been bitten? Non-venomous snakes. That's from Curtis. Non-venomous snakes. Quite a few times. I don't really keep track. Venomous snakes, never. How did I get into venomous? I almost stepped on a rattlesnake when I was 12 in Arizona. Ever since then, I was fascinated because it didn't chase me. It didn't try to kill me. And according to the TV that I'd always listen to, it said it would. So with that being said, I started catching venomous snakes around my house. Messing with those, learning from those. And then I met a guy. The guy had venomous, so kind of checked out his stuff. I wouldn't say mentored under him. I never did any of the stuff he did. He was a little crazy. But, just kind of got in it from there. That was from Tucker. How do I feel about working with black mamas? That can be the most demanding snake in the world, or it could not be too bad. It went real well this last one. Every time I mess with that mama, he's been pretty good, all things considering, but he is quick. That's from Father Possum. Cool name. It's good to have you back making videos. Thank you, Brittany. Smash the like button, people. Saying hi from Austin, Texas. Hey, Doreen. Do more videos with the king. I do. I just don't want to stress him out. You know, that's a big move for him. He's getting settled in. I just don't want to screw with him too much. I would love to take him out here soon, though. Enclosures behind me. I did do a video on those. The update on the Squamager, the 5 Viper unboxing video. I did a video explaining the enclosures a little bit. Apparently, the guy that's making them, I don't think's making them anymore. So I tried to get his contact info, and that just didn't work. Look at wildlife, Nick. I strongly believe snakes can't sense fear, but scare people do things. I just kind of agree with that. Squeezing pythons, yeah, I agree. Nick, you are 100% accurate. I mean, there's a chance that they could smell it, you know. I mean, at the same time, we just kind of learned that snakes can hear. You know, that wasn't common knowledge 10 years ago, I wouldn't think. I started hearing about it probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and I didn't really know how well they could hear, how they could hear. But maybe I'm just out of the loop. So, I mean, it's possible that they could smell, you know, fear. I'm not sure. That's very questionable. I do strongly believe it's more in actions than anything. Taking the vlog, keep up the good work. I would love to do a daily vlog, speaking of which, Dennis. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It'd be cool, but I got to get out of work first. How young's the black, or how's the young black mama doing? From Peter, doing great. He's eating well, growing fast. I'm in Phoenix, RV here. I'm in Phoenix. Go get green mojaves. RV, that's cool. I actually heard Phoenix. That's where I almost stepped on the rattlesnake. It was 2 hours outside of Phoenix. Wonderful videos. Very calm around snakes and reptiles. Thank you. Rhino vipers are sweet. I really need more Bitis in my life, which is the rhino vipers, gibbon vipers, stuff like that. Okay, I had to skip a couple. Sorry. You were in Florida? No, RV. I'm not in Florida. I was living in Pennsylvania for quite a while. I was in Maryland for a little while. I want to get into venomous snakes as a puff adder. Be a good starter with. Nathan, don't get a puff adder. It's the deadliest snake in Africa. They kill more people than the other snake in Africa. It's not the one you'd start with. That's a horrible bite. Plus, it's quick. Reptiles down under, which Australia species would you love to work with? Tiger snakes or the red-bellied black snakes. Any Australian elapid would be really cool. Death adders would be neat. I don't know. Man, they're all cool. Random question. If you ever received permission to visit Snake Island off the coast of Brazil, would you go with a team like Brian Fry or some other team? If I could go with Brian Fry to Snake Island with the Golden Lancet, Balthrops, and Solaris in a heartbeat. Oh, man, that guy's so smart. Like, I know a little bit about snake venoms, but that guy's he's talking about venoms that aren't known better than I know venoms that have been known about for years. I did see the Dingo Dinkerman swimming with the huge king cobra. That made me very nervous. He's a nice guy. I don't want anything to happen to him. How's alligator snapping turtle doing? I don't have any alligator snapping turtles. That was a friend's alligator snapping turtle. It's doing good as I know. It's the turtle man. So I mean, he's great with turtles. He'll probably live to be older than I am. I have kept chameleons. I actually had a Jackson's chameleon was my first chameleon. They're pretty cool. Have any tips on how to get them to eat better? Just bugs that move a lot. They can be a little tricky at times. Don't handle them too much. Stress is a big killer. Am I scared of ticks now? Yeah, kind of. and mosquitoes. Like West Nile would suck. I was like, oh, you go West Nile. After I got Rocky Mountain spotted fever, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's scary. I thought I was invincible and I was wrong. Ooh, there's a lot of questions all at once. Give me 1 second. Logan, what snake would I not want to be bit by most? Probably Fer-de-Lance. Any of them. And Solaris, the Bothrops, the Martinique lance heads, the Atrox Asper. Asper would be horrible. Because that's one of those, even if you get bit and you don't die, you're like, I lived. I mean, you're going to lose an arm, you're going to lose a leg. You could be, pardon my French, pooping in a bag for the rest of your life, you know? I mean, it's just not good. Like, it'll mess you up forever. Yet again, they've saved more lives than they'll ever take. So, very beneficial, just a scary snake. A good starter venomous snake, someone else's. Only reason I say that, if you have any issues, it'd be better if they could help you address them. Update on the mamas. Mama's doing good. Do you have any videos on tapians or wrinkles? No, I do not. I've only messed with one wrinkles ever, and I did not film it. It was a tiny little baby. Tapians, not yet. Working on it. Missed the new mom. I just did a video on him. You missed him already. Probably going to skip a few there. Sorry about that. Howdy from Arkansas. Inbred redneck from Arkansas. Good name. Just got my first ball python. Update on the mamba. Mamba just ate, so I'm not messing with him for probably another week at least. First ball python, that's cool. That's a good snake to start out with. Just as long as they're eating good, that's a pretty decent snake. Get in contact with Tingo Dinkerman, South Africa. He's a YouTuber. Yeah, he hit me up on my comment section the other day. He's cool. Would like to see his collection for sure. Yeah, it would be cool to get to Snake Island with Dr. Brian Fry. Just to meet Dr. Brian Fry would be a real treat. Favorite snake ever? Ugh, that's tough. Indigo snakes are really cool because they're smart. Probably if I had one snake to work with for the rest of my life, if I had a bunch of those, I probably wouldn't have a very long life. But forest cobras, I absolutely love forest cobras. They're so smart. They monocobra hood up and hit the glass and just keep doing it until they die or you get out of the room. Forest cobra will sit back. He understands the glass is there. He'll never hit that glass. It's intelligence. He'll sit back, stay up inside his little hide, whatever, and just poke his head out and watch you. I do not have a Russell's Viper. I have a friend who has a Russell's Viper. When they say they get 5 feet, you don't realize that until you see them in real life and they're 5 feet. You're like, wow, that's an impressive snake. 3-4 scorpions. Those are kind of tricky to keep sometimes. Stiletto snakes are awesome snakes. That's when I was living out there in Maryland, so I didn't go over too well. They are pretty cool, though. I would like to get some someday. I never did get that feeding video filmed. Prehistoric pets. I've heard of prehistoric pets. I've known about them for years and years and years. Jay Brewer and all his giant retics. I'd like to see the place. Like, I've heard about the place. I've seen the YouTube videos. I just like to see it. Like, some of their all white retics and just some of the stuff they have, giant alligator snapper. Be cool to see. I don't watch their videos typically. I met Jay Brewer up at Tinley Park. He was busy. I didn't say hi. I didn't want to waste his time. Everybody else was driving him nuts. So I just stayed out of the way. But Kimberly, hello from Australia. Hey, how's it going, Kimberly? Cool. Ball-tail pythons are cool. Feed them in a separate tank so you don't get bit. That's interesting. Me and my friend was talking about that at work. He just got his first ball python ever. And people was talking about like changing tubs for them to be calmer, have less of a feeding response. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, it's debatable. one great thing is feeding frozen thawed all the time for a lot of your pet snakes. I have a Doomwell's boa that was fed live the first half of his life, and he still to this day strikes so hard. Even the frozen thaw rat, like he nailed me for the first time I had in 15 years, and he bit me the other day, and ow, he hit so hard. But I have like the black mamba, just hold the mouse up there, and he just gently takes it, and that's it. They do learn that they don't have to use so much excessive force. So I think that's neat. People say snakes are dumb. They aren't. Hognose are cool. Austin, kind of random, but what type of music do you listen to? Rock, grunge music? A friend of mine at work, he's a real redneck hillbilly, which I kind of am too, but I listen to a little bit of everything. I was listening to some uh, Gamma, well, like Gamma Sector, I think it's called, the other day, and he walks up and says, "What you listen to?" I'm like, "Well, check it out." And he did, and he wasn't ready. It's just really hard. I don't know. Got to be in the mood, I guess. Asian vine snakes are neat. You got to feed them lizards, though, Kenny. That's kind of a pain. Totally worth it, though. Like if you can find lizards, or if it is eating mice, they typically don't do too well on mice. But maybe it's a good snake. I don't know. Enjoying chili. I would love to have some chili right about now. When are you going to get a king brown? That'd be cool. They're almost impossible to get over here in America. They are here, but very seldom do you see them. New York, that's all I'm getting out of that. Yeah, I don't know where that is in New York. That's cool. I've always wanted to go to New York, New York. I lived like 4 hours away from there at one point and I just never went. Too congested. I don't know if I could do it. Do I personally know Chandler or Tyler? No, I've been told about Tyler for years. A friend of mine's good friends with him is always like, "Oh, you should do a collaboration with him. He was on that tattoo show, Inked." I'm like, "Cool." Not driving to Florida for somebody I don't know. Then he got a YouTube channel, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I did hear about his king cobra bite the day it happened, but I didn't. I never put two and two together. Chandler, I don't know him from Adam. I have no clue. Like I've seen his YouTube channel, but I don't know him. Have a good one, J Dog. Uh, are the permits expensive? In my state, you don't actually have to be permitted for exotic venomous, but yes, for some native, for sure, anti-venoms are expensive if you keep any of those on hand. Do you have a favorite venom type? Are all pretty interesting. No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, I can't answer that. But do I have any Asian crates? Crates spelled with a K. I'm not a stickler on spelling because I'm horrible at spelling. It's just one that I actually, have to spell a lot. No, I did have a. Was it a common crate? I don't know. It was years ago. It was before I really knew what a crate was or should be messing with a crate. But yeah, I messed with them for a while. Those are fun little snakes. They're neat. They flail a lot. Thank you for checking out the videos. I appreciate it. It was my most favorite North American snake. There's 16 different types of most favorite. Oh man, most favorite North American snake. It's a snake I've never seen, so I can't really call it my favorite. Can I? I'm going to. I don't really care. It'd probably be the what is it? The Crotalus obscurus, which is the ridge-nosed rattlesnake. It's a type of ridge-nosed rattlesnake. It's like a locality of ridge-nosed rattlesnake. It's like the rarest rattlesnake out there. It's not the rarest. The long-nosed rattlesnake's the rarest rattlesnake, but It's just on a little tiny mountain area, a couple little mountains. Like there's like 84 have ever been found in one range, and I think there's some ranges in Mexico where there's been like 2,000 found, but that's it. Like that's the entire world population, and that's crazy. Uh, can you feed snakes rosies reds? As far as I know, I don't know. The only snakes that I had that ate fish were tentacled snakes, and they actually handled thiaminase real well. Favorite rattlesnake could be Eric Smith eye, are really neat. Least favorite snake to keep and why? Spitting cobras. I hate getting spit all over. I do go herping sometimes. Gopher snakes are very closely related to bull snakes. They are not the same thing. Hello from America to Russia. Yeah, neurotoxic I think is a little bit better than like hemotoxic, like to get bit by, but at the same time, long-term neurological issues can be an issue. I mean, literally getting bit by some of those snakes can make you dumber. So, I mean, I don't need that. What's up from Indiana? How's it going? Been drove through Indianapolis not long ago. Native is something best to start with just because of the anti-venoms. Now, at the same time, pretty much every pit viper from North America uses the crowfab anti-venom. So if you're going to copperhead versus a Western diamondback, I mean, if you go copperhead, don't go Western diamondback. But Western diamondback's deadliest snake in North America. That's beside the point. When I say deadliest, kills the most amount of people. Not that it's actually the most dangerous by no means. Do I keep my own anti-venom? That's a yes and no answer on that one. I do have access to the anti-venom for the species I keep if they have an anti-venom. So there's that. The hospital I'm going to does have the anti-venom, so I'm covered on that one. That's a snake that I'd least likely take a bite, or that I'd want to take a bite from in the collection would be the Bothrops lanceolatus. Give you brain hemorrhages. Yes, I have been to Indiana, Nathan. I drive through there a lot because I grew up in Missouri. So I go back to see my grandma living in Pennsylvania. It's just straight shot right through Indianapolis. CJ, is it true that nobody knows about the venom of the sea snakes and its medical properties? I don't know. They're doing a lot of research on the different venoms. So to say that nobody knows, I mean, Dr. Brian Fry would be a great one to ask on that one. Like he knows the snakes for sure. He does a lot with the sea snakes. I figured that we know. I'm not saying that we've cracked into it by no means, but like we definitely have done some research because there's like the LD50, which is the lethal dose per 50 mice on sea snakes, the different species of sea snakes. So with that being said, if they're going to waste their time to try to figure out how toxic these guys are, they've definitely dove in a little bit to the medical implications of the venom. Watching from England, awesome. Karen, I'm guessing. It might be murdering your name. Horrible reading. Your thoughts on free handling? I've just watched David's feed. I don't like free handling whatsoever. Mainly in America, I should iterate on that. They are passing laws every day stating that we can't keep venomous reptiles in different areas. Arkansas, great example. They just passed a law. I don't know the exact law, so don't quote me on that. But more or less, can't keep venomous snakes in Arkansas, and that sucks. One day, it probably be a national ban. You got to have crazy permitting, and the permits are really hard to get. I've struggled with that in Maryland and everything else. So with that being said, if they do a flat out ban because a whole bunch of people are getting bit day in, day out, that's a problem. Now, right now, they're not passing the laws because of free handlers. They're passing the laws because people's pets are getting loose, and that's an issue. It's never going to turn into like the Burmese python issue. We've been keeping venomous in America here 50 years and we haven't had an issue yet. So I highly doubt it's going to be an issue in the next 3 years. Don't let Discovery Channel get word of that. They'll make Snake NATO 2 or whatever. But I'm kind of rambling on this one, but it worries me. Number one, somebody could see it and try to emulate it. That's not good. I don't know. I definitely think that whenever it comes time to pass laws, they're going to look back at that and be like, wow, you can't even handle them properly. Now, yet again, your average person in the House of Representatives isn't going to know free handling versus handling with hooks. But if we have 3 bites last year from exotic venomous or 157 bites from exotic venomous, which number is going to be harder to dispute in court? Is there anti-venom for the black-headed bushmaster? Yes. A bite from that snake without anti-venom, 100% fatal. If it gives you venom, pretty much. I mean, before anti-venom, you wasn't going to live. Nowadays, or close to. Nowadays, it's like 69%. So the anti-venom does work, kind of. Copperhead bites mostly don't need anti-venom. That's pretty true. They typically don't treat copperhead bites with anti-venom because of the fact that the venom or the anti-venom could possibly throw you into anaphylaxis, like anaphylactic shock. Copperhead venom's not that toxic, so you gotta get a drink. Yes, I'm drinking out of a 2-liter bottle. Excuse me. Thank you for checking out the video. I do appreciate it. Do I have any Mugula in my collection? No, I do not. Mugula, I don't know. My favorite snake. What do I think about the religious churches and handling venomous snakes? Strongly believe in freedom of religion. I don't know. Like, I don't agree with it. I think it's kind of dumb. I mean, if you want to look at it from a biblical sense, it says not to tempt the Lord, in the Bible. With that being said, yet again, I think freedom of religion, I don't think we should be suppressing what people believe. If the snakes are treated right, now every video I've seen, they're dancing around, throwing a snake around. If I did that with a kitten, you should probably be pretty mad at me. Like, it's kind of rough. A lot of those pastors have died, so I'm not saying what they do works. I don't know, like Murphy's Law, I guess, or not Murphy's Law, Darwinism. If you're going to do stupid things, you win stupid prizes. I don't know. I don't agree with it per se, but at the same time, I don't think we should necessarily limit what people do. I don't think there should be more restrictions in the world unless it's actually hurting somebody. I wish they would treat the animals a little bit better, though. Tools are there for a reason. I strongly believe that, Kenny. Yeah, unfortunately, my reading sucks so bad. It's hard keeping up with you guys. So I'm probably rambling. My video probably ain't making no sense. I got 72 people viewing. How's the aquarium? Any plans on collection? Okay. I did have an aquarium. I still have an aquarium. I got an algae bloom going on right now, which is pretty cool. Most people would not think that's cool. I think it's pretty neat. I like plants of any sort. We'll add a little greenery. But yeah, I agree, Casey. They do treat the snakes pretty bad. Are there any golden lanceheads on the legal market? Technically, no. Because you can't export off the island. So if they got off the island, then the only legitimate golden lancehead that could possibly be out there is, I know that there was some exported for like zoos and stuff like that, and then the zoos had a bunch of babies, but they're not going to sell to the private sector. So no, there's not. Uh-oh, battery's running low. uh, whenever my computer dies, I guess the live stream will be over. Probably going to delete this because it didn't have any real path. I just wanted to make sure it's working, making sure the video looked decent enough. I have kept Nineveh, which is the Cape Cobra. They're pretty cool. I like them a lot. That's the most toxic snake in Africa, besides possibly Venomous slang. Drop for drop, they're just as toxic as a black mamba. Cool way to start the morning. Yeah, speaking of which, I gotta go to work here soon. I get a little bit of sleep, but best way to handle a snake bite: miles away, don't panic. Go slow. Running is only going to speed up the heart rate. If it's a small rattlesnake, you're probably going to live. If it's a Mojave, it might be really bad, but still just stay calm. Yeah, you're probably right. Chewy LTD, you know way more about aquariums than I do. Thank you, Rose. I do appreciate it. I try to. Sometimes it don't come out quite right, though, unfortunately. Yeah, you kind of lost me, Karen. Any of it? Yeah, actually, I would like to go into some other countries, check out different snakes and different handlers, and just I'd like to get over to Australia, maybe Africa, down to South America, like Costa Rica. Is there any snake or reptile that you just will not work with? Not yet. That might change. I don't know. So far, everything's pretty cool. Don't delete this video. It's amazing Q&A. Great way to learn. Okay, Adam, I'll keep it up. I just hate to let people down if they click on this because, in my opinion, not much was said. At least I don't feel like was. Just talking back and forth with everybody. But so when's a boxing match going down? Oh man, if you don't know what that's about, that's hilarious right there. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh man, it made me so mad that night. That's beside the point. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna plug this in so I can keep this going just a little bit longer if I can catch it before it dies. There's a slight chance I will. Okay, I'm back. It'd be pretty sweet to make it to Canada. Kimberly, what's my opinion on Australia not allowing the export of native species? I actually like their import process of like not allowing the import of species as well, just for the main fact of it keeps disease at bay. That's nice. The export kind of a pain, but I can see why. There's a lot of places like that though. It's not just Australia. I don't believe Sri Lanka is exporting anymore. Um, I think it's been a long time since they did export, actually. But Brazil's hasn't been exporting for a long time. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of Mexico hasn't been exporting for a long time. But I don't know. It's kind of a pain because I would love to work with a lot of the Australian species, legally collected, legally imported, exported. But I don't know. I see it both ways. Got bit by a common corn snake as a kid. Same here. I did not think I was going to die. I had read the books. I knew I was okay. Edward, that is a very good question. Um, hmm, I don't know. That's yeah. How can you help someone? Yeah, that's tough. I'm not sure on that one. I would love to help out, but if you want to hit me up on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, maybe we can talk over it. I wouldn't mind trying to help you out on that. What can I do to get involved with venomous snakes in Florida? it really doesn't matter where you're at. If you want to get into venomous snakes, in my opinion, it's pretty basic. Offer something that's in need. That's it. I mean, this could be said in anything. If there's one job for a doctor and there's 100 doctors, it's going to be hard to get that job. But if you're willing to do the stuff that the other people ain't, people are going to be more helpful to you. If you're not asking for anything, like if you used to go into a large reptile sanctuary and you're like, hey, can I clean some cages? I want to help you guys out. I think you have a great facility, and I would fill water dishes or whatever you need. They're going to find something for you. While you're there, 3 days into it, express that you really like reptiles. Just work your way up. And in 2 weeks, mention that venomous snakes are the coolest thing you've ever seen. That you're obsessed with venomous snakes, you want to learn more. And just keep going at it, keep busting butt, doing work for free. And it sucks. But at the same time, eventually, maybe their venomous snake handler's sick. Maybe anything. Maybe they need some help with this, they need some help with that. You're always there to help. You're going to become a big part of the big picture, and eventually you're going to get in the right place at the right time, and maybe you'll become a venomous snake handler. That's kind of how I made it in. Yeah, about the new law about the green iguanas and tegus down in Florida. The sad part about them passing the laws, it sucks there's tegus and iguanas down there in Florida where they don't supposed to be. But at the same time, the damage is done. And that's what sucks. Like, I don't fully understand what this law is going to help or change, or just if they completely wiped out the iguanas and they're like, okay, no more iguanas from here on out. You guys are screwed up once. They ain't going to have it again. I kind of get that, The iguanas are there. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to be able to get rid of them. So why do something now? I totally agree with like the Burmese python hunts. It's sad. I mean, I'm not saying that I want it to happen by no means, but they are killing the native wildlife, so they should be taken care of in some way. With that being said, the iguanas are eating plants. I don't really necessarily see how. I know they're hurting to a degree, but I don't see how it's that big of an issue. The tegus, I can see a little bit more because they'll eat anything. But have I ever worked with infiltrate bugs? No, but they're freaking awesome. Like, I've held one that ain't keeping them or anything, but they're very neat snakes. Chris Rodriguez, reptile curator at LA Zoo in Los Angeles. No, I have not heard of him. They have some rattleless rattlesnakes. I was actually reading a book about some rattleless rattlesnakes earlier today. It's pretty interesting stuff. There's an island. Can't remember. Like Catalina. I'm messing this up a little bit, but the rattlesnakes on that island are actually rattleless. It's pretty neat. Would I ever work with big cats inside their enclosure? I don't know. I've thought about it to a degree. Like, how big are we talking? Are we talking lions? Full-grown lions? Probably not. Full-grown tigers? I don't think I'd have the nerve to. Mountain lions? Yeah. I think I would if they're not aggressive. Now I know there's always a chance, but there's also a chance I'm not going to make it to work tomorrow. There's also a chance that traffic, I mean, it can happen at any time. None of us are going to make it out of this alive. I don't think you should rush death, but at the same time, have fun while you're here. Yeah, I completely agree with that, Chewy. The iguanas have been documented in Florida forever. Like, to say that it's your fault for letting your pet iguana out, it's been going on for so long. Like, there's a documented case of a Nile croc down in South America. Like, how was it part of Mexico? Can't remember exactly where it was documented. They found it. I need to read into this before I start talking about stuff. But I apologize for that. But how did this Nile croc end up in South America before people kept Nile crocs? I mean, You could kind of blame possibly the drug lords for that. If they wanted a Nile croc back in the 40s or 50s, they could get a Nile croc. When you have that much money, you can figure it out. If the zoos can have it, they can have it. So I don't know. The iguanas have been around so long; it's almost like the dingoes, and it's not like the dingoes. The dingoes have been around forever, but you know what I mean. Dingoes in Australia. Could the average person handle a king cobra like you? Yeah. I mean, I'm an average person. The only thing difference is I've watched a lot of people handle them. I've done the research and I've handled snakes forever. The only thing that I have better than an average person is I can read the body language. But technically, I mean, if you were really gifted, you spend a lot of time, you could probably figure that out just by watching videos. I'm not saying to ever do that. I'm just saying, like, to understand the body language is something that anybody could learn if he took the time and just had the basic understanding. How's it going, Philip? Mamba's doing well. Yeah, forest cobras. I got my forest cobra. I was like 18 years old, I do believe. I shouldn't say that. Don't ever do that. That's a crazy snake. But they're like my favorite snake too. They're not as crazy as people make them out to be. What makes them dangerous? They're just like the mambas and the king cobras. They're extremely smart. They sit back and they watch, and they are quick. I had a little 4-footer that wouldn't ride a hook. When I say wouldn't ride a hook, you could not keep him on a hook. He was as bad as the Barnetti or the Barnett slants that I put down here on the table. He just went nuts the whole time, just shooting off in every direction. And he was a crazy little guy. But they can be a little bit of a pain, but I love them. Ari, I'm guessing. Did you name the Mamba? The Mamba's name originally was Shitani, and then I got to thinking after Kobe Bryant died, naming him Kobe because I mean Kobe, the Black Mamba, it only makes sense. And that listed a huge debate on my channel. Like people got a little upset. Some people like, great idea. I don't know. Shitani is Swahili for Satan. But I don't necessarily like naming a snake Satan because I'm trying to get people over their fears, not, nurture the fear, I guess. How do I safely go about owning a snake? Be non-venomous. Watching YouTubers. If you're ready to get a snake, Josh, I mean, if you got like a rat snake, like a corn snake or something, I love corn snakes. I think they're one of the best starter snakes because they eat. Ball pythons sometimes don't. I'd get a cage, like an aquarium with the lid that latches. Those are great. Get a little corn snake. You really can't go wrong. Just make sure the cage is closed. Feed it little mice if you're okay with that. Like you're ready. Like they're great. There's no need in not owning one. They're wonderful. When are you going to get out of the house and get a girlfriend from Jay? I don't know, man. I work like 80 hours a week, I think I was figuring up. And we're not even talking about YouTube or answering comments or any of that stuff. So to find time for social life, like that's going to be work. I enjoy going out and doing things, but just tough. What snake would have the most painful bite to human? That's all debatable. Eastern Diamondbacks are really bad. Bushmaster, they say within 30 minutes of the bite, you will lay down and wish to die. Even if you're not dead yet, you're going to lay down and say, man, I want it to be over.